Hello everybody, Kirby fan here with, this is long overdue. I said in the Path of Radiance tier list video, which was 2.5 weeks ago, that I would be working on a day-to-day design tier list. Things just got kind of busy. However, things should be back to normal. Copyability Spotlight is coming up soon. I have other challenge run videos. The channel just recently hit 300 subscribers. I think that's crazy. I can say this is a 300 subscriber milestone video, even though I promised this video a while ago, so that's always fun. Really, all I gotta say is thank you for the 300 subs. I'm surprised that we hit this goal. I'll always be surprised no matter what goal we hit, but just keep shooting forward. I'm sure everything from here on will be just as exciting as the first 300. But again, that's not what we're here to talk about. What we're here to talk about is this beautiful man that we are ranking the designs for. This tier list has 2 of everything. I'm not sure why there are the repeats, but I'm not going to complain. I am okay with it. But we're only going to be ranking 1. I have the tier list ready, similar to the Path of Radiance tier list that I recently released. I have the picture right in front of me. I know where everything is going. And I think it's most fitting. I don't know. Do I want to go bottom to top, or do I want to just do things as they appear here? I think I'll just do things as they appear here. And I do have these. Okay, so typical Kirby fan tier list fashion. Everything high and below is not ranked. Everything in the top is completely ranked. I'm not going to tell you how many I have in the top tier, but those are all going to be ranked. And then everything in high, mid, low, and bottom, they're not ranked. There we go. Now that sounds a lot more right, doesn't it? I had forgotten to make them top, high, mid, low, bottom. They were still the letters. So starting off, we have You Are Just Beautiful. That is a joke from the anime in the episode where they make the cartoon when they have the Kirby trash in the castle and Dedede and Escargoon are talking to each other. Escargoon and Dedede get this really weird design. It's funny. I like it. It's a funny joke. It makes me laugh. It's just not around for very long. That's why it's in mid. But it's a solid design. I like it. Is his Rainbow Curse design. I wish he was in this game more. His design in this game is sick. Look, you can tell just by looking at the face. He looks like a boss in this game. I love the claymation style in Rainbow Curse. And I wish Dedede and Mennonite were in it more. But considering that they're just those figurines, I mean, take what you can get. I'm not going to complain. But he looks so cool. I wish we could see more of him. He looked so cool in Rainbow Curse. It's the same problem that I have with the You Are Just Beautiful, but it's him. It's him. Speaking of him, this is the Planet Robobot when Susie clones. I don't remember what Susie calls him. It's when she clones him. This is when he's just one singular Dedede. It's before he splits into the 3 mini ones. But it doesn't really matter. I would just kind of lump them in the same group anyway. I think they look cool. It's a really fun boss fight. I give it props for actually being a rather entertaining boss fight. Fun to speedrun. If you know what you're doing with Hammer, you can actually skip a vast majority of the second phase. Or would you call it the third phase? Yeah, because the first boss fight is split into 2 different parts. But there's still 2 phases. There's part 1 and part 2 of phase 1, but then there's phase 2. I just think it looks cool. There are other variations of the character that aren't technically the character. They're clones or whatever that I think look a little better. But this looks fine. It's a good color palette. I like the dark purple. Alright, and up next, this is from Kirby Clash Deluxe and Super Kirby Clash, the 2 King D mines. I think these look really cool. If I had to pick one, again, the tiers aren't ranked. It's except for the top tier, of course, that's ranked, but everything else isn't ranked, so it's not really important. But if I had to pick one, I guess I'd go with this one, the one that was in Team Kirby Clash Deluxe. I just really like the bright color. I appreciate the darker colors. Fun boss fights. I just think they're really cool designs. I love this color on the final fight. This bright blue, like aqua. I almost want to say it's more of an aqua than a blue, and it looks really nice. It looks really nice. I'm almost tempted, just because this design is so much better, to move this one down. I wouldn't say this is a top tier design. This is mostly just the colors that I really like. The design itself I still think looks good, but it's not incredible. But I really like it. I really like both of them. They're great color all around. Great design all around. Pretty good design would be the Drum Dash Deluxe. I think it looks cute. My big problem with it is that it's based off of the Triple Deluxe design of this character, which I am not the craziest about. But it looks better than he did in Triple Deluxe. I'll at least give him that. But still, just the eyes, the position of his eyes, and like the size of them compared to his mouth. Ugh. But it kind of looks like 2D artwork. I feel like Battle Royale... Well, Battle Royale was the first game that had 2D artwork in a while. This looks like 2D artwork. I don't really know if it is. I'll say it is. But it's not quite the same 2D artwork that we got from a lot of the... I don't even want to say the older Kirby games. Pretty much just everything from Mass Attack and before that, except for Epic Yarn. Everything Mass Attack and prior was just great 2D artwork. I don't really get that from this image, but I do get it from Battle Royale's artwork. I don't know why I'm talking about Battle Royale, but whatever. Anyway, it is time. Is it time? Yes, it is time for the first top tier design, Kirby's Dream Land. I love this. This is the original design of the character, and it still holds up. I love in Dreamland how a lot of the artwork doesn't really use shading or anything. It's just all flat colors, but this colors still all really pop out. They knew how to make colors contrast each other pretty well. And if you just look at Dedede, it's really just the yellow, the blue, and the red. Those are the only ones that really stand out. Obviously, the hammer's brown. There's the white on the top of the hammer. He's got black for the mouth. There's white on his robe. But the colors that really stand out are the red, the blue, and the yellow. And I think they stand out really good. I don't think there's anything wrong with his proportions. I don't think his stomach is too small. It looks like all of his body parts connect. His robe looks kingly and majestic. His eyes compared to his mouth, the size of them, really good. Just all around stellar design, and it translates into the game really, really well. That's one thing I like about Kirby characters a lot. You look at their artwork, and then you look at their sprites or their models in the game, and everything just transfers over perfectly. But this is the first top tier, the very first design of the character. I think it's top tier. And I didn't include this because it's pretty much the same thing, just with a kind of more muddled color palette. But I also, if I included this, I probably would have put in the top tier, probably right below it. It's just a little too similar for my tastes, but I still really like it. But I don't like it as much as his incredible design in Kirby's Dream Land 3. This, I'm just going to say it right now, spoilers, sorry if you were looking forward to the suspense of what the best design would be. This is the best design the character has ever had. I love this. Look at how, it's because you're getting him from the side. Look at how wide he is. This is the body of a king. The robe, he wears it. He's got, it's a great blue. He looks fully like a penguin. His head, like his actual head connected to his stomach, it all looks right. It's Dreamland 3, so it's got that great art style going for it. I love the sketches. It looks like you're sketch coloring in his robe. He looks cool. The shape of his eyes, the size of his eyes, the figure of his mouth, everything looks so good here. I love this design. This is the Dedede from the early era of Kirby that I love. I love his Dreamland 1 art, but this character is king. And that's all I really have to say about it. It's just so good. It's so good. Speaking of good, this isn't quite top tier. We're, going back down to the high tier a little bit. But this design I really like. The big thing that separates this design from a lot of the other modern Dededes, it has the mask, but we've seen Mask Dedede quite a few times in Superstar Ultra. He's big, though. And the surprise factor of him getting that big, combined with him wearing the mask, plus that boss purple color palette. We need more of Dedede wearing a purple robe. That, really good. Fun boss fight, too. A little easy, but I keep bringing up the boss fights. They don't really have anything to do with the design, but it's part of why I remember the design. Looking again at Dreamland 3, I certainly remember this design because of the boss fight. How naturally and yet how creepy it is when his stomach opens up and teeth start chomping at you, or an eyeball pops up and dark matter shooting out dark energy. You know, I don't really think of that when I look at Dreamland 1 Dedede. When I look at this, I think of the freaking extra mode boss fight when I was doing that challenge to see if I could play Dreamland 1 and Star Stacker at the same time. That's what I think of when I see this. But when I see this, I think of this cool looking design in this really good looking art style that's hiding something really creepy. That was a tangent. I went off topic. Sorry about that, but I'm keeping it because it was a good tangent. So this one is largely designed similar in design to Dreamland 3. It is top tier. It's pretty much the same design as Dreamland 3, and he does look like a boss. I really appreciate it, and it's just overall a really good-looking model. I love the colors in particular. You know, 3D models give off a different vibe from traditional artwork like this, or especially sketch art like this. But he looks like a boss. I love how the colors look. It's just great all around. It's the only reason he's this kind of low is because I do think some points were lost compared to Dreamland 3, which I guess isn't really fair to this one. It should be judging it on its own merits. But I can't really help it, especially when, you know, as you can see right here, the stomach opens up. It's still creepy and weird, but it doesn't jump out to me quite as much as this one does. It's a really cool design. The artwork for this design, this is the model, but the actual render that they made for the artwork is especially good. That one I think stands on its own compared to Dreamland 3. I wouldn't really change the spot. I find myself preferring the Dreamland 1 design, but this is still an excellent design. Really, really like it. Good stuff. And while I'm not talking about his in-game model, I am mostly just sticking to the artwork on this one. I love this. The Kirby Battle Royale, me ranting about it before actually came through. And it was specifically the artwork I was talking about. Look at that. But the Battle Royale artwork, it's hard to see in this small picture, but if you can find a bigger picture of it, the shading style that this game incorporates, it's very polka dot heavy. It's the opening to Kirby Star Allies, where the actual 2D animated one, or at least it looks 2D to me. It might be CG, I'm not sure. It just looks really good. That employed the same shading technique with the polka dots that Battle Royale did. And it just looks so unique to me, and I love that style. Battle Royale has some of my favorite art in the series, and seeing Dedede like this, and they fixed his eye so it's not super weird like Triple Deluxe was, it's good. It's really good. I really like it. I'm not going to say too much on it because I'm just talking about the artwork, but if you can look at a larger picture with that polka dot shading and it's great art, color choices, etc. all around, I really like it. Okay, this is our first low-tier design. I never liked how this guy looked in Epic Yarn. The cutscenes were whatever when it was normal day-to-day. Whatever. But then once he got turned into Yarn, I don't know. Something doesn't look right here. I can't quite say what it is. And it's so unfortunate because every other character was made into Yarn really well. I love how Kirby looks. I love how Meta Knight looks. The Waddle Dees, the Bronto Birds, the Scarfies. The Scarfies look great. Krakow, Wispy Woods. I feel like I'm forgetting an important one, but I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. But point is, they all look great. So when I saw Dedede like this, it doesn't sit right. It might just be like the full body thing. Maybe it's just because I really don't like what they did with the character in this game, and I'm just trying to say that it's more than just what they did with him story-wise and stuff like that. I don't know, but you've never been crazy about his look in this game, but it's not the worst. I just don't like it. I wouldn't really even say it's that bad. It's just, to me, I don't like it. All right, here we go. Already another I will get to you soon. Don't worry. But we have another top tier design. That is the Superstar Ultra Base Dedede. Love this. Superstar. So Battle Royale has some of my favorite artwork in the series. Overall, and this is totally not because it's my favorite game or anything, but Superstar Ultra overall probably has my favorite artwork in the series. I just really like it. It's a very simplistic charm. If I can, you'll notice for the copyability spotlights, if I have the chance to, I'll just use the Superstar Ultra artwork because I think Superstar Ultra just has the best looking artwork. It's so clean, it's large, it's colorful, vibrant. It's everything that I want Kirby to be. And when I look at the artwork for this character, I'm like, yeah, this is it. He's, you can tell that he's, a very large character. He's bonking the hammer on the ground because, he's kind of obnoxious. But he's still kingly. The robe swaying in the air You can tell with a lot of Dedede designs so far, I really focus on the robe. I love the robe. And just having the robe swing in the air like that, you can see in the back, when the hammer hits the ground, he hits the ground with such ferocity that not only is you can see he's leaning forward into it, his other arm is kind of sticking up backwards. He's really swinging with force with that hammer. But also he's hitting the ground so hard that the rope's swinging up, and I love that. But if we're actually, I'm talking about the artwork here. If we're actually talking about the design itself, Superstar Ultra Dedede is mostly modeled after the GBA sprites. But in the cutscenes, you actually do get to see that it's not like the Brawl Dedede. It's its own kind of Dedede, and I think that Dedede looks very good too. There's not too much I could say on it just because it's not directly in front of me, but very expressive. Unlike the Brawl Dedede, very expressive. I love when his eyes get really big. It makes me sad when he's walking all upset in the Revenge of the King end credits, but excellent design. Really like it. I gushed about the artwork, but it's Superstar Ultra. I'm gonna gush. And I needed to gush because here we are. No, okay, so spoilers. This is not my least favorite Dedede design or anything. There are two, I'll say two. There are two designs that I like less. One I definitely like less. The other I kind of have to think about. I like Yarn Dedede more than I like this. But the reason why this one in particular just really irks me is that I don't want to say with the other two yet, but that version of the character I don't really care about. You know, honestly, I just try to ignore the character in the games that the things that the designs appear in. Triple Deluxe, I'm not the biggest on, but I still like it. And they kind of fixed it in Battle Royale, right? Thinking back to Battle Royale, how he looked in that game, I think they fixed it a little bit, but not. I said Battle Royale. They fixed it. He looks fine in Battle Royale from what I remember, but Planet Robobot is what I meant, and I think he still kind of looks the same. But I hate it. I hate it. He looks terrible. Why does he look like this? Why are his eyes so far apart? His mouth is so big, and his eyes are so... Like, his pupils are kind of large, but his eyes themselves are so small. His head doesn't look like it. His head is like the same size as his stomach. What is... I hate this design so much. What... He looks fine in Return to Dreamland. I don't think he looks great, but he looks fine. What is this? You managed to follow any of that. Congrats. But hey, don't worry. Another top tier design. This is Mass Attack. Mass Attack also has some of my favorite artwork in the series. And hey, look at that. He's got the robe on, and it's swinging in the air, and it looks cool as heck. Dedede and Mass Attack, if I it's still the sprite, but it looks a little bit more detailed, I think, compared to the GBA ones. And I even think Superstar Ultra is kind of a step up from them. But my point is, he looks really good in Mass Attack. I just really like this artwork. I don't think it says much about him. He just kind of looks cool. But I like it. I really like a lot of the 2D artwork. This is probably among the top tier ones. This is the one that I like the least. So this is probably the one that I like the least, but I still really like it. Mass Attack just had really cool looking artwork. It's hard to tell from the image really small, but if you look again at larger versions of the artwork, the official artwork for the characters and everything, Mass Attack had a really cool looking style. And I'll try to put it on the screen because it's a little hard to explain. At least I can't think of a good way to explain it right now. But Mass Attack art looked cool. Oh man, there's so many top tier designs for this character. This is why I wanted to do Dedede specifically. His design has changed so much over the years, but so many of these designs are incredible. And there are bad ones too. You know, looking at you. But this king, Masked Dedede from Superstar Ultra. Let's talk about this. So, he's got the electric hammer in the artwork. That's super cool. He's got the mask, which obviously looks incredible. Just makes him look even more imposing. But he's still got everything that normal Dedede has. If you compare it to the normal Superstar Ultra artwork, or the normal Dedede, not the masked Dedede, still from Superstar Ultra, this one still looks a lot more fun, I guess. A lot more chaotic, like he's just bashing the hammer on the ground, not a care for what it's going to do for his robe or anything. He's just having a good time. He's serious here. And it looks so cool. I love the way that everything... I love the way that it's so cool, but he's still got the bright colors that he has otherwise. And when you're in the game itself and he's got the mask on, it's weird because the only difference is that you can't see his face. It's the same sprite, but he still manages to look completely different. And the fight itself... Ooh, the fight itself, where he's got the hammer, the electric walls, the arena, he gives you the hammer. Big mistake giving you hammer, because hammer in Superstar Ultra is ridiculously powerful. What I'm saying here is that this is... So this is peak Dedede in terms of the visual style, I say. This is peak Dedede in terms of the character. In tangent with his Superstar Ultra normal art. Between the normal Dedede art and the masked Dedede art, put those two together, and that is what I love about the character so much. He's not a joke, as we're going to see in this abomination right here, but he's still not serious, so to speak. You know, he is a character that you can have a lot of fun with, but when the going gets tough and he gets serious, like, what a king. I just really like this. I just also really like this. Worst. Oh, let's talk about Dedede here. I hate this design. I hate the character in the show so much. I want to go on a full ramble about the Kirby anime one of these days. It's just mostly I'm trying to figure out how to write the script for it. I want to make it a milestone celebration, but I know a lot of people like the anime, and as a milestone celebration, me tearing it apart doesn't sound great. So I guess let me know if you want to see me tear it apart. I'll do it for 500 subs if enough people want me to, but if not, I understand. But I hate a lot of things about this design. I hate his face. I hate his eyes. I hate his teeth. I hate his hammer. I hate the blue that they picked for this. It doesn't look right to me. His robe looks alright, I guess, but there's a lot I hate about it. And it's probably a lot to do with my hatred of the character in the show. Regardless of the language, English, Japanese, I hate the character. I won't say anything about the actor because they have nothing to do with the design, but I just hate the character. So who's this before I start getting too obnoxious about this? This is... from Star Allies. This is the Shadow Dedede. I think I said Shadow Dedede before when referring to Mirror Dedede. But, no. Isn't it Shadow yet? No, it's Dark. Dark is the mirror version. There's so many specifics. Anyway, this version of the character, I think, looks okay. Not bad. I don't know what else to say on it. I think it looks very shiny when he transforms and gets buff. I like the shine on his face. I think that looks pretty cool. I like the color palette. But, overall, I just think the design is, fine. I wouldn't say anything crazy about it. Ooh, I love this one. This is, so it's super specific, but this is in Kirby's Adventure. This is such a stretch, but I want to talk about it. When you're doing the gun shooting minigame, it's like Quick Draw, Nightmare in Dreamland. I don't remember what it's called here, but he has a top hat, and that's the only difference. It's just he has this big hat. It's not a top hat, but it's this big hat, and I love it. That's it. That's all it is. I can be very shallow, I understand, but look at this hat. It's so cool. I love this hat. If I could have that hat, I'd be happy. Speaking of happy, Kirby's Dream Course. This technically doesn't really count. I should put it here. But, I mean, he is the one piloting it, and, I mean, it looks enough like him. This looks like him, too, but I don't really like this one. So instead of having to, put it in low, I was just like, whatever. This looks cool, though, and it's a very fun boss fight. I like it a lot. Great music, but again, we're talking about the design here. I think the only thing that kind of weirds me out about this is that the satchel, or not the satchel, I never know what to call this thing. I always forget, but it's not there. I think that looks weird, but I like it. I like the drill hands. Those look super good, and he but he releases those little I don't want to call them wind-up Dededes, but the smaller Dedede robots that if they get too close to Kirby, that's bad, and if enough of them hit Kirby, you lose the boss fight. It's a fun boss fight. I just like the design. A lot of Robo Dededes I like. Or I like the idea of Robo Dedede a lot, is what I meant. Just not this one. The one down here, the eyes look wrong to me. I don't know. But hey, Return to Dreamland Day today. I feel like I'm a little, not alone, but I don't feel like a lot of people really like this one. I feel like a lot of people think this was the downward spiral when we got this. And I understand that, but I don't know. I still think he looks fine. His eyes look fine. His robe. I guess if I had to complain about this, the robe is just kind of there. And a lot of, again, as you can clearly tell, I really love the robe on him. But he still looks good. I like... He gives off a cute looking energy, and I really like that. And I mean, like, aside from the robe, everything looks good. I think everything looks fine. His head looks like it fits on his body. It's not like the same size, which just looks... Why? Anyway, I think that is the Mirror World Day today. And this one... So the thing about this one, I like the color palette, but this color palette, ooh, is very good. This is a good color palette. This is a very good color palette. It's very dark. If we're gonna go with Dark Day today, kind of like with Dark Mennonite, this looks right. I think that's the only thing I'm really gonna say about this is that it looks right. Samurai Day today, I see right here. This is the PM model, and in Project M, I think it looks really cool that they did this. I actually like it a lot in Project M. But if we're just talking about canon Kirby, if we're talking about Samurai Kirby, I'm not crazy about it. But it doesn't look bad. It's modeled after something really cool. I can imagine this kind of design fitting right in with that era, which is cool, but not really my thing. But if anything, so if we're going with like how it looks in Project M, it would more end up here. But because we're going with how it looks in Superstar, that's probably where I would put it. God, this one. Why does he look so stupid? I hate how he looks in Scream Squad. The cutscenes, he looks okay. But this artwork, why does he look like that? So remember how in Triple Deluxe, I said his head was like the same size of his stomach? If you look at a lot of the artworks that I really like, his head isn't that much smaller than his stomach, right? It's a reasonable size in comparison. Maybe like the Superstar Ultra one, his head is really small, for example. But here, it sticks out to me. Maybe like his hands are bigger than his head. That looks a little weird. I don't know. Maybe it's the shading. Maybe it's like the size of his eyes compared to everything else. Maybe it's the fact that you could just see so much more of his stomach here. I don't know what it is, but he always looks stupid. He just looks really dumb, and I don't like that. I hate the dumb Dedede that the anime Dedede forced on the freaking canon until Return to Dreamland. I'm so glad that era is gone. I'm so glad we could take this character seriously again. I hated it so much. Anyway, is that Brawl, Smash 4, Ultimate? I think that's Ultimate. That looks like Ultimate to me. Ultimate Dedede looks super cool. I like him a lot. Yeah, that's definitely Ultimate. Okay, so, he looks super cool. I really like it. Sakurai definitely knows how to design this character. Given how Sakurai, was involved in Dreamland, involved in Adventure, all that good stuff. He knows how he wants his character to look, and I appreciate that because it's some of the best Dedede look that we get. Next is the Star Allies Dedede design, which I know I just got finished talking about, oh, Sakurai's so good at designing this guy. But I'd say it's about the same. I liked the Star Allies design a lot. The face looks right. The body looks right. Everything looks right here. There's just nothing about this art specifically that sticks out to me. Nothing that jumps out like a lot of these do. But I still really like it. It's a good design. It's a huge step up. Like, after they did this, they stepped it up big time. And I appreciate that. Oh, okay. So I complain about the anime, and I strongly dislike it. This design. So this one right here, You Are Just Beautiful, was a fun gag. This, it's not mid. I'm trying to put it in top. There we go. This, okay, there. Finally, jeez, it's so funny. This is the one episode of the show that I could watch and just genuinely have a good laugh with. Not the whole episode, but the animation bit at the end. It's so funny. It's so funny. Look at his face. Look at his face in this shot specifically. This is a reaction image that a lot of the Kirby fandom uses, and I can stick by this one. This. So remember when I said Star Allies, the design here, nothing about it really stood out to me. Not the case here. When I remember when the trailer came out and we saw this design of Dedede and everyone was talking about his pecs. It was a weird time, but it was a weird time that I really appreciated. I don't know why this is what they went with, but for some reason I'm so drawn to it. I'm so interested. And when he transforms and he looks at you like he's doing in this picture, he just looks right at you before getting to the fight with Kirby. It's like, why are you looking at me with the pecs exposed? It's strange, and I really appreciate that. Really, really fun boss fight too. I love speedrunning this one. But just looking at the design, it's yeah. But it's yeah in a good way. And then lastly, we've got this weird big chin Dedede. I don't remember what this was specifically for, but it was some kind of merchandise that I'm pretty sure was officially licensed. And even if it's not, I love it. Look at this. This big chin Dedede looks so funny. Out of all the big chin, the big chin stuff is something that the fandom latched onto for a little while. I never found it that funny. I thought it was kind of weird, except for him. I thought he looked super funny. And I think that's it. I think that's all the designs. Everything here is just repeats, so we're not going to worry about it. Let me crop this a little bit so we can get a bigger view of the list for those skipping to the end. Okay, and that's my final take on this tier list. This is a character that's gone through so many design changes. Clearly, I love so many of them. The ones in the top tier I could really talk about all day. I don't like all of them. There's a few that I think are really good. These three really stick out. If you disagree, let me know. If you agree, let me know. But until the next video, thank you so much for 300 subscribers. The channel has been a little quiet recently, but it'll be picked back up soon. And until I see you next time, I've been Kirby Fan. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.